Welcome to The Big Story, hosted by Victor. The Big Story brings you interviews with inspiring people who are killing it in various spheres of life. Get ready to learn a lot while laughing and having a good time in a relaxed environment.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Big Story. I have with me here Ganiyat, a very good friend. She is doing so much amazing things in Kaduna in the art scene, and I thought it was really amazing to talk to her. Welcome, Ganiyat.
Thank you so much for having me, Ayo. It's such a pleasure. And a huge honor to be on the big story at Cabo. I've been watching, the platform from afar, and it looks like, it's really here to really just help us tell our stories. And that's something I'm really big on, telling stories, Africans telling their own stories. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for agreeing to join. It's really an honor, and I've also been watching what you have been doing, and it's really great to see young people really making a difference in their society. So thank you. Yes.
It's a pleasure.
Nice, nice. So, Gania, you were my classmates back in high school, and
Yeah.
so actually we have some history, a bit of your bio. Uh, Gania is a graduate of chemistry from the University of Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. She is the founder and curator of the Kaduna Fashion and Arts Exhibition, KAFART, an exhibition geared towards celebrating the arts and fashion in northern Nigeria while striving to bridge gaps that exist within the creative industry in Kaduna State. Ganiyat Sani recently established an arts and artistic representation and managerial agency known as Djembe Arts. The agency focuses on contemporary visual arts from and around the Sahel region of Africa. She is passionate about showcasing and promoting underrepresented African cultures. She loves to she loves to paint and garden. Nice. That's like really detailed. Is there anything else that I might have missed?
Well, no, nothing, not too much. You didn't really miss out too much stuff. Although, I forgot to even add there because I was working with an artist and a printmaker just not too long ago, and I learned how to do printmaking on fabrics and tie and dye, which is something I'm really so into now and I enjoy, and I can't really wait to get my hands
Yeah.
dirty
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, great. I think in the past time that was really, really big before, then it took a bit of a gap, and
Yeah,
now it's coming
it's
back
com-
strong again.
yeah, it's making a huge comeback. It's like it's
Yeah,
everywhere now.
really, really, really. Oh, nice. Nice skill to have.
Yeah,
Nice.
thank you.
So there's one thing that we do special on the big story, and it is getting to know something random about you. So I would like you to pick a number from 1 to 100, and I'll pick a question for you, a random question.
Okay, 25
25. Why is that?
because that's my birth date.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. So number 25 says, if you could write a book, what genre would you write it in? Mystery, thriller, romance, historical, fiction, non-fiction, fiction, whatever. What would you write
Hmm.
it?
I think hmm, fiction actually. Fiction and a little bit of non-fiction. Fiction because I think I have like a really wild imagination and
Yeah.
I feel like maybe eventually I would actually write them down, all the thoughts I have in my head, which I really cannot even say out loud. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe not fiction and then a little bit of non-fiction in the part that I might write about my life at some point. I'm not really sure because there's so many interesting things that I feel like I've experienced in my life that I feel I need to share with people at some point. So
Yeah. Okay, great.
yeah.
You used to read a lot, right?
Yeah. In high school, but I don't know. I don't know. I just took a break from that. I wasn't reading so as much as I used to before. I kind of got on this social media Tumblr. I don't know if you've heard about it
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
at that time, like after high school. So I used to really enjoy looking at images a lot, looking at pictures, looking at paintings or artworks from different people all over the world. I think that kind of influenced who I am right now, to be honest.
Mm, mm.
Because Tumblr as a social media platform was all about sharing images, sharing, so many things, you now get to reblog and makes you feel like you have your own blog. So you you just be curating your own content, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Was I think it influenced me a bit, honestly, more than I'd even like to admit.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, that's great. Nice. So looking forward to your non-fiction book, fiction non-fiction book in a
Yeah.
couple of years. Nice. So with the birth of Kafat, so tell us about the birth of Kafat. How have you from basically last time we saw to where you are right now? How did Kafat come into being?
Okay, so Cuff art came from me just basically looking around me, I was looking around and I discovered that really there's something really missing around here. And, I realized that there isn't really a place where I could walk into and see so many artists in one setting, so many fashion designers in one setting in the north, in northern Nigeria. I've never really experienced that. So, yeah, and, with northern Nigeria, there's so many challenges here. There's so many, problems here. And then, I figured that why not just, create a platform that would, celebrate the arts and fashion, while also trying to, raise some kind of awareness about what's going on around us, So, a huge part of CAF arts, which I'm sure I've left out in so many of my, talks, is that, CAFAT really wants to raise awareness about issues, social issues, environmental issues, you know, cultural issues, those kind of things. So those were one of the those are one of the factors, or be some of the factors that actually, you know, influenced CAFAT's birth. So, you know, from where we are now, I can feel Kaduna actually changing in terms of the arts, because Kaduna was once really known for the arts, but due to some challenges, that maybe some challenges that came around over time kind of put a halt on that. But Kaduna was really well known for the arts. If you the history books have it, down that Kaduna really had so much to do with the arts. But now, it's kind of doused down a bit. So what we are doing now, we're trying to, bring back that fire that was burning once upon a time, and then, you know, get younger generation into the arts again, get people attracted, just, push that art culture around there, around here, and, make sort of normalize the arts again. Because, when we started CAF art, it seemed a bit, not say slightly strange, but it was a kind of idea that a lot of people weren't buying around here. And this is because for a long time they've not really had, this kind of platform coming around trying to make people see the arts in a very, more appreciative light, that kind of thing. So, we did what we had to do, and then we got people interested. We got young people that, weren't born when the art was bubbly around here. We got them interested in the arts. We got them participating. We got, you know, underground artists coming out to showcase, fashion designers, um, coming out to showcase their works on our platform. And, that the platform for me is very important because when you have a umbrella platform that brings together most of the creatives in a specific region, you get to involve almost every kind of creative in the region. You see yourself working with poets, you see yourself working with video makers, graphic designers, photographers, it's basically a system, an ecosystem that is depending on each other. You have artists, you have fashion designers, and then, it's like everyone in the industry is being brought into this umbrella platform, some of them directly, some of them indirectly. So I think, for us, that is where we've really gotten. And, the fact that we have a community now, we have a community of, you know, artists and fashion designers and other creatives, a community that can depend on one another and all, you know, and also have like a specific outlet for important information that could be useful to them and their progress as creatives. I think that's really great.
Hmm. Great, that is amazing. That's amazing. I remember when I was younger, we used to go to trade fair. I don't know if you remember trade fair
Yeah, I
along
do.
I think along Jaji Road or something like that.
Yeah, it was
Then
such a delight, man.
exactly like the whole school, you go to school and then this whole school you go all together. And
Yeah.
amazing artists and so many crafts. And I think it's not I don't know if they still do that. Do you know?
I I guess they still do, but I really can't remember the last time I went there. But I guess it's not as consistent, or maybe I've just not heard about. It's not as publicized as before. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
maybe.
But just imagine back then, that was something that really made the whole city to stand still because everyone went there.
Oh, yes.
Something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that is the culture that you're trying to get back with arts, trying to
Mm-hmm.
make people excited again about arts and craft,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Because we see art a lot as something that a lot of us can relate with. Sometimes art has the capacity to actually bring people together, no matter where you're from, no
Mhm.
matter your religion or your tribe or anything, art has that thing about it. The fact that we all have ways of interpreting art differently is really great. And, for us to have this platform is really exciting to know what it could be, and what it is right now.
Yeah. Okay. So I know that you studied arts back in school. I did sciences, you did arts. So that's
No, oh, I actually did sciences, to be honest.
okay.
Yeah.
Then what's your connection with arts then?
Well, I've actually been into like art for the longest time. Like when I was little, my parents used to buy me, all these nice painting sets with markers, with watercolors, different things, glitter pens. I used to just do stuff. And then eventually I kind of stopped, and I don't know why. But then my younger brother started drawing, and he draws so well, hyperrealisms and all of that.
Hmm.
So I don't know, and I told you I used to be on Tumblr a lot. I used to see so many, art, and they used to really intrigue me. I've read about a lot of artists, read about their lives and their works, Those are the things that just interested me, basically. And I felt like, in Kaduna as a town, I've seen like just a lot of artists doing really original stuff, doing things that you wonder where they thought about the idea, because art for me, it just, how people say, oh, because you're studying sciences or you're doing something like that and you're very smart about it. But in the arts, in the arts, it's like when you see the level of brilliance in somebody's work, it just makes you feel like, you know, why don't people say, oh, you're so brilliant for learning how to, for doing this kind of piece of work, you know?
Yeah.
Why don't people often say that? Because when an artist does the work and then they start explaining everything to you, and you can even see it from the work, it makes you just mind blown.
Yeah.
You just get mind blown because there's a lot of thought process that goes to
Yeah.
creating a kind of body of work, you know.
Yeah. 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 It's all about it. Sometimes when some artists talk, it's all a scientific process, like mixing color,
Yeah.
this
Mm-hmm.
color, and painting with this kind of brush to get this pattern on the canvas.
Yeah.
It's,
Mm-hmm.
it's they have to. It's really amazing. It's really amazing how they think. How they think. Yeah.
It is, you know, it really is.
Okay. Okay. So for you, it was about the intrigue and about from growing up, being in that art world. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been, very interested. When you're really into something, but you're just not giving yourself time to actually do it. It's
Hmm.
just like you knowing to yourself that you know how to paint, or you've painted before, you know how to, but you just don't want to, or you just can't do it for some reason right now, or maybe you're too busy. I know it's a
Hmm.
weird excuse, because if you really want to do something, you'd go for it, but that kind of thing that you know how to do it, but just to sit down and settle down and actually do this thing.
Yeah.
That was for me because I feel I paint, but not as often as I ought to
Yeah.
because I don't know, I feel I procrastinate, which is not great, but I feel eventually I would actually sit down and produce a lot of work
Hmm. Hmm.
in like a time duration or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Um. So, why do you believe that Kaduna has so much to offer, so much to offer, and needs to be seen, and the art of Kaduna needs to be seen?
Well, for me, from my own personal experience, a lot of artists in Kaduna there's this rawness about their works that, I feel, needs to be seen. And, art from Kaduna, I feel like art from Kaduna is the artists that I've interacted with, most of them have their works really influenced by, you know, their location, the culture here,
Hmm.
you know, and I feel that's not as represented, in the grand scale as much as it should be.
Hmm.
Some other artists, create works based on, the challenges that they face in their communities in Kaduna, the hardships they face, they try to kind of tell the story with the artworks. And I feel, the world has to know, these stories from the horse's mouth, from the people that are currently experiencing these realities, all these challenges, they kind of tell the stories on their artwork. So I feel, art from here needs to be seen. And then there are some other artists that just create art based on, their personalities.
Hmm.
And I feel, there's so many personalities that, from here needs to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw one of the artworks from KAFART,
Mm.
and saw the is it Sir Ahmed Bello with
Oh,
the
yes.
goggles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that looks so cool.
That's really great.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess that's like a mix of culture because Sir Ahmed Bello is nothing, but also it's also like the personality of the person with the
Yeah.
VR goggles.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Great.
like taking them to the future somehow.
Right. How are you able to get in touch with all these amazing artists?
Hmm. Well, I started networking, you know, the creative community in Kaduna is such that, one person knows another person, that does something, and then, from there on. And, from the first edition of KAFART, we did a call for artists. So a good number of artists applied, and we saw their details and everything. We asked to meet some of them, so that was how we started building relationships with them, trying to get to know them, trying to get them to be a part of what we're trying to do for the state and for the region as a whole.
Yeah.
So that's how we go across to them, got to reach out to them.
Okay. 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 Nice. Because I know Kaduna is pretty big, and
Yeah.
it's like a mix of different cultures. And
Mhm.
most people think that everyone in Kaduna is Hausa, but actually that's not true. Kaduna,
That's wrong.
yeah, Kaduna is such a melting pot of different cultures, and I believe that Kaduna is like a good place to get at least a variety of different artworks and different cultural representation.
Yes, yes, because there are so many. I think there's so many cultures and cultures in Kaduna. So many of them,
Yeah,
and although a lot of them might be like small, in terms of population and all of that around here, but
yeah,
there are really so many, and all of them have their own identities.
yeah,
So
yeah. Okay, great. How is Kafat helping to publicize the Kaduna artists and their works?
okay, so we've had several great opportunities, to kind of media opportunities basically, that we're really interested in putting our story out there, putting the artists out there, the fashion designers out there. We had the, opportunity to we had the opportunity to get featured by channels TV, great platforms like Daily Trust newspaper, Folio Nigeria. We had quite a number of them, great platforms, NTA, which everyone watches. We try to invest in those platforms because we wanted them to, because we knew their reach, so we tried to get them, to actually support us, cover our programs and all of that, so that we can get the artists and fashion designers to be seen by a larger population, to see that these things actually take place here, and these artists really exist here,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. And we feel like it's working as much as we anticipated, because some of these artists get called for some opportunities, and all of that.
Okay, great. Wow, Channels is pretty big. Channels
Yeah.
is pretty big. So the artworks of the artist, it's possible to buy them, right?
Yeah, sure, it's there for sale.
Yeah, for sale. Okay,
Most of them at least.
okay. Have you gotten like any sale from like I would say just from someone just seeing it and say like, hey, I really like this art. I really like what I see. And just like a random call from somewhere.
Oh, well, we haven't had like outside calls, but then whenever we do our exhibitions, we definitely have some artists making sales, which still reaffirms the fact that really people love art in Kaduna, and they really want to see more. It's quite unfortunate that we don't really have many galleries around here
Yeah.
that people can just easily walk into and just get a piece of art,
Mm-hmm.
that they want. So, hopefully in future we get to have our own, gallery where we can put out the works of these artists that, showcase at our exhibitions.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, we have, people buying art during the exhibitions, because they see the art, they have a feel of it, they experience it, they see the artist talks about their work, and all of that. So that kind of gets a lot of,
A lot of
patronage.
yeah. Yeah. Whenever I go to Nigeria, I always try to bring back at least one piece of art with me. Not even only Nigeria. Whenever I travel anywhere, I
Mm.
try to bring back something. This art behind me
Whoa,
is
it's
actually,
so striking.
yeah, it's actually painted by Kaduna artist. Uh,
Wow,
he's now in the US, but it was painted in 2002.
wow.
And it was like it was hung in my house like when I was growing up, and it was gonna
Hmm.
be thrown away, and I was like, wait, like no, I'm going to keep it. And then I saved it. I've brought it over here, and now I can see a little piece of my childhood every day.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's really amazing, you know.
Yeah. So this is like testament to what you said about Kaduna artists, because this was painted by someone who lived and grew up in Kaduna.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
can see the trees, you know,
yeah,
it kind
yeah.
of
The trees, the sunsets.
give this nostalgic feeling for you, I'm sure.
Definitely. When I start to feel like, yeah, I start to I need like a reality check. I just come and look at this painting and I'm like,
Wow, that's great.
yeah, yeah. So I'm curious because organizing an exhibition seems pretty like a lot of work. How was it basically?
Oh, so honestly, it's one of the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And you know, the fact that I have a team that I work with,
Mm-hmm.
and this team, you know, they put their best in to make sure, you know, they get the job done. And I really, you know, I'm really thankful I have them around because they're always present.
Hmm.
So it's one of the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but still, you know, when you have this kind of team, they actually just break everything down and take on their own, you know, roles and, you know, make everything lighter in the end of the way, in the end of the day rather.
Hmm.
So I think, you know, I had the opportunity or rather I'm just lucky enough to have like I've been surrounded by lots of great women in the art scene which
Hmm.
have been supporting me, and I'm really thankful for them. You know, through the course of my journey, I've met so many women, and all they did was just put me in on things, you know, make me seen more, you know, connect me with opportunities, connect me with people that will be relevant to what I'm doing. And I'm really grateful for the women in my life, to be honest, because they've really gone, you know, a long way in helping me. And then I have like a supportive partner and my family also. My family have been so, supportive because when you have Nigerian parents and you're trying to tell them, oh, you want to do an exhibition, and it's like, whoa, in a Nigerian home, anything that is not bringing you profit immediately, it's like, bro, it's like you're wasting your time. But
Exactly.
I'm just blessed to have like parents that really understand your struggles and believe in your vision, even if they don't completely understand, you
Hmm.
know, your vision. They try to support in some way, just so you get to where you need to go to. You need to get to rather.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, bless them.
yeah,
Bless like you always need a good support structure around you, and I'm glad you have that.
yeah.
How was it growing up in Kaduna, and what lessons did you learn that are useful right now?
Hmm. How was it like growing in Kaduna? Hmm. Well, I wouldn't want to say this, but I've always felt like a misfit most of the time. Through my primary school days, I've always felt like, I don't know, I've always felt different from everyone else. I've always felt out of place. I never thought I fit in as much, with friends even. Sometimes I just feel like I'm the only one I'm the only weird one or something like that. But, you know, as I grew up more in the town, I guess I kind of accepted myself more and felt more confident about myself. I guess that was what I was lacking growing up because, you know, I'm originally from Kwara State, and but then I've lived all my life in Kaduna. Kaduna is basically home for me. It's shaped me. It's made me, see things differently. But growing up here has been, it has been pleasant for me. When I find people that I can really relate with in terms of creativity now. People doing things like this, it makes me feel like I felt like I should have known them a long time ago. But growing up in Kaduna felt, or rather, has always been feeling like this safe space for you. You know, it's not really the town to have so many rush hours and all of that like elsewhere. It's it's a very calm place. Allows you to actually grow into your full being.
Mm.
It's like it nurtures you sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps you get to your full form, without any kind of disturbance or hindrance. You just get to know yourself, you know who you are, because in the calmness, there's nothing like, it's not really a loud town or anything, but it has just helped you. It just helps you, understand yourself more. I think for me, that's just the feeling I've experienced
Mm.
in Kaduna. Spending more time here has just made me feel, like I'm getting to know myself more. And it's really evident because when I look back at who I used to be or who I was a few years ago, it's like a completely different person in terms of mindset and in terms of, you know, perception now. The way I see things is different. And it's all thanks to, really accepting the kind of energy the town possesses,
Yeah, repping KD Croc City.
Honestly, Rock
Yes,
City.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, I also grew up in Kaduna, and for me, I always like to blow the horn wherever I go because Kaduna is really an amazing place, and
Yeah,
people should know that. People should know.
yeah.
What motivates you and keeps you going?
Hmm. Well, what motivates me? I mean, the progress of the creatives in this town motivates me, to be honest. Like, looking around and seeing that, there's really so much more to be done for the creatives in Kaduna, keeps me going. It makes me feel like I should just keep going and not stop. When you look around and see, their peers in other parts of the country or the world, getting some kind of opportunities, which was due to maybe information, maybe sometimes around here you don't really get information of the trends, global trends, and that's not because we don't have the reach to get it. It's just because you don't have so many kind of platforms around here that talks about these opportunities.
Yeah.
So those are the things that keep me going, progress of the art community here, the growth of the creative community, basically, even the fashion community, you know, the progress. I'd love to see so many brands, doing fashion films, so many brands doing actual full projects, shoots of their, collections, trying to tell stories, with their collections, storytelling, pushing for that. It's a huge motivation for me because even even beyond that, even after all of that is accomplished, you still want to keep bringing out more people need to get all these opportunities too.
Yeah. 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 What are your plans for the future?
Hmm. Okay. So currently now I'm trying to setting up my own organization. The organization will be the organizer of the KAFART itself. So it's
Mhm.
called, and it will also be it will be the parent organization of the Djembe Arts, the managerial agency for the artists.
Mhm.
So it's called Gazelle Creative Collective. That's the name of the organization that I'm putting together. So we plan on, beyond calf art, we plan on doing other things
Okay.
beyond calf art. We really want to grow the art community here and even in Africa to the best of our own ability. So we want to do other activities, we want to have several like continuous exhibitions. We want to have our own gallery. We want to be the biggest platform or the biggest destination for art in northern Nigeria and even Nigeria, honestly, and Africa as a whole. Want to be that destination that everyone around the world looks forward to. Want to be the destination that the world stops for. That kind of thing, just like the Olympics. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's yeah, we really want to, we hope to be an organization that connects creatives,
Mm.
in northern Nigeria to programs such as mentorship programs, connect creative funding opportunities, that kind of organization that, contributes to the progress of the creatives, do artist residencies, fashion designer residencies, that kind of thing.
Mm.
Fashion design residencies, all those things, want to be able to contribute, actively
Yeah.
to the scene, beyond the showcases and everything, because there's so much work to be done even behind in the backstage. So
Mm.
we just have to, keep gearing towards that.
That means you have to change the name from if you want to go if you want to grow bigger, then you have to change it from Kafat because Kafat has Kaduna in it.
Yeah, you see, that's the whole point of Gazelle Creative Collective now. So we'll be the ones doing all these things. It's just so sad we didn't really start earlier for people to know us as the Gazelle Creative Collective.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure with time we'll get to make that name that people would know that, oh, we are the organizers of Cap Art, and also maybe um another festival or another, exhibition or another, you know, opportunity that people can associate with our name.
Mm.
So yeah,
Wow, that would be great. Good.
yeah. I'm excited, because we are currently trying to plan not a fundraiser per se, but we're planning an exhibition for dyslexia, and
Mm.
it's going to be around the dyslexia week this year. We're trying to raise awareness about dyslexia
Mm.
about around here in Kaduna, and we hope to indulge, schools, high schools, primary schools, parents, teachers, and student etc. So we hope to be able to raise awareness about that. We're partnering with an NGO that, tries to support the community in terms of dyslexics and all.
It's really amazing what you're doing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. What are the success and mistakes that you have made in Kafat?
Hmm. Okay. For me, one of the successes I've made is, being able to organize calf art again, being able to have that reputation within the creative community, being able to have a great reputation in the creative community, and, also being able to attract more people, convert more people to art enthusiasts, people that otherwise didn't really, you know, show so much interest about the arts, being able to get them into the community again, to be art enthusiasts, and also, you know, just being able to reach a wider audience, trying to pass our message across in a grander scale. I think that those are one of our successes.
Okay.
And then for the mistakes we've made, you know, some of the mistakes we've made include, the organizational aspect of CAF art. We believe, we can do so much more about that because we have experienced a few hitches here and there, which I'm sure wouldn't be visible to the attendees. But within us as a team, we noticed those hitches, and we feel we could do better. And also, when you're planning an exhibition like of art, anyone that wants to plan something like this needs to be careful about listening to so many ideas and opinions because it will otherwise distract you from the main vision of what you want to do, and then you start doing someone else's vision.
Hmm.
You kind of leave yours behind because you think maybe you know you don't know as much. You feel like you might be even having imposter syndrome that, oh, what do I even know, like
Wow.
why can't I just listen to this person that seems to know so much about what I'm doing? And we kind of had you know that happened to us. We listened to so many people at some certain points, and then we kind of lost track on where we're going to. But we kind of, found our head back in the game, and we realized that we're going down the wrong path, so we didn't. But I would personally advise anyone that isn't going that anyone that is trying to do something like this shouldn't really listen to so many people at a time because you get distracted if anything, and you'd not even do what you want to do. Really, you wouldn't execute your own idea. You find yourself doing someone else's idea.
Yes, that's a very good one. You're the one that has the dream. You're the one that has the vision. So
Yeah.
run your lane. Yeah, nice. Good. You already touched on my next question a bit, but
Mm.
what's the biggest advice that you can give to someone who is trying to follow in this path? Uh,
Well, the biggest advice for me, I feel whoever wants to do something like this should just listen to themselves. When you listen to yourself and you do some things and you make your mistakes, you know that this is all you. But not listening to so many people and then, still making mistakes on the way is, I feel like that's not the best way to learn because you might feel like you might be getting great advice from other people, but then I feel the best thing is just listen to yourself,
yeah.
work on your own pace, do what you really want to do in the end. And if you make mistakes, then yes, you make everyone makes mistakes. You learn from these mistakes and apply it and try to do better next time. you know that's the advice I have to give.
Nice, nice. So don't focus on the mistakes. Put them behind you and
Yeah.
just keep on going. Nice. Uh, it's really been an amazing time talking with you, Gania.
Yeah.
KAFART was something that I always saw and I really wanted to know more about. Now I do. So thank you. Uh, quick one. How can people get in touch?
Okay. Anyone can that intends to reach out to us can get in touch with us through our email address, um, our social media, and yeah, our email address basically and our social media. So our email address is hello at cafartng.com,
Mhm.
and then our social media, Instagram and Twitter is cafart underscore ng. Cafart underscore ng. Yeah.
Okay, okay, great. I'm
Although
going
we
to,
also have, sorry,
sorry.
we also have a website, but it's currently under maintenance at the moment. We're trying to, add some more stuff and everything, so it's under construction. But it's www.cafartng.com. So yeah,
Great. I'm going to put all the emails and websites that you have said. I'm going to put it in the bio, so if people look
Mm,
there, they can always check that there.
yeah,
And also your personal Instagram, I have it here at Gania.
yeah,
Uh, Instagram and Twitter, GANEEYAH
yeah. Underscore.
underscore. Nice, nice, great. So it was lovely talking to you again, Gania.
Yes, it was a great time talking to you as well. Thank you for having me on the amazing platform. It's an honor to be here, and I look forward to maybe coming back again.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you so much. It was really a blessing having you here, and I'm very open to having you back again. Um, yeah, I'm someone that loves arts, and talking to you is also fun and informative. So looking forward to having you back on this podcast, and also looking forward to also visiting one of your exhibitions live in person.
Happy to have you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ayo. Thank you for the opportunity
All
and
right.
consideration.
Thank you so much. All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to send a message or view more content, check our description box below for all our socials and websites. Till we meet again. Bye.